Let me ask you an honest question. Has your opinion of England diminished, would you say, in the last 5 to 10 years? Do you think less of them as a nation? Like honestly, because I saw recently a poll of Englishmen, and they were like, yeah, we feel like our country is diminished in the last 5 years. We are worse off than, not just worse off, but like we're less powerful, less prestigious. We're diminished.
I feel like they're kind of just our little like orderly. They do whatever we tell them to do. They don't do anything without our approval. Like the U.S. just kind of owns
your country too. If you ask people, they're gonna be like, "Oh hell yeah, this country's in the shitter now. We got boys being born. They don't know if they're boys. This country's fucked up."
That's so
true. If you go to Canada, they're gonna be like, "Country's run by Fidel Castro's illegitimate son, and they're taking our freedom. This fucking place is fucked up."
People
everywhere it's
if
like
America
that.
is strong or weak based on their political affiliation. 3 years ago, the Democrats would have said this whole thing's in the shitter. It's going terribly. Wage gap or some complaint they'd whip up. Now, like unemployment's the lowest it's been since like 18 years or something insane like that. And but Republicans are still going to be like, the economy's in the crapper, everything's terrible. And then the inverse is true. They would just find a thing to complain about Trump.
Yeah, the economy is bad.
The one that bothers me is crime. The way that the economy is bad. Why
is it bad? Is it the corporate profits being at records, the enormous, the very low unemployment, the real wages rising? Why is
real wages are not rising. Consumer price index is going up. Food, fuel, all these things are more expensive than they were.
A couple years out of gate would be the answer to this question.
The consumer price. Let's see. Unemployment rate average 5.72, reaching an all-time high, and it's fucking This May of 1953. That didn't really answer the question.
Hey, at least catch up to Reagan's time.
I'm sorry, Zach posted it here, and I didn't really scan
Let's
it.
just
But it
all
talked
admit
about,
that
I said 18 years.
Most people would agree that things aren't going great right now. I think I know the unemployment numbers are what they are, but I think a lot of people say that that's a lot of people working multiple jobs to try to keep things together. And I don't know.
Most people's principal concern right now is economic.
Like, you're talking about downgrading the dollar and maybe moving to another. I mean,
as far as what people's stated concern is in the voter base, it's economic.
And I'm not blaming Biden. I don't want this to slide over into like.
So who you blaming, Kyle? Who are you blaming about the financial
You know who I'm fucking blaming. You know who I'm blaming.
I know.
All right?
Just
now I know who he's blaming.
You know what I did today?
What'd you do?
I hope it has to do with underwear.
You see Wings of Redemption?
Close. Yeah.
You saw.
I went to the press conference, and I saw Jordy in person. Never met him in real life.
You know, if I had known that you were going to be there today, I'd have sent you $500 to have you dress up as an old timey whaler. And to be out in the crowd with a harpoon and go, "Yes, he blows!"
You got me so excited for a second because I was like, if I knew you were going to be there, I was going to be right there with you. But instead, you're like, I was going to pay.
I'm a felon. But
I always forget about that.
Me too.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. I cry at night. Tell me about Wings, though. Tell me more.
Well, it's so crazy. One of what's crazy is like I go and I get into the press conference, and like this is where I realize that like I'm a fan and I have a parasocial relationship.
Yeah.
So it's like my girlfriend, I was like, that's Wings' wife. She fucking look, bitch.
Oh, shit.
That's Wings' wife right there. Oh, look at her.
You saw the whole pod.
I was like, I can't believe fucking Wings' wife is here right now. Fucking crazy. And then Jordy came in, bro. Must have been 11 feet tall, 780 pounds. Fucking came in. I was like... And also Boogie, but Boogie, I've met Boogie before, so I'm like, "What's up, Boogie? How you doing?"
How tall is
like,
Boogie?
I'm good. I'm really bad at this. Both of them have to be under 6 foot. They have to be under 6 foot because I only know when someone's under. Oh, don't worry, Woody. You're taller than Wings for sure.
I've met Wings a couple times. Yeah,
you're taller, bro.
I saw it different. When they had their shirts off, Wings looked like he could put his chin on top of Boogie's head. And in this picture, they look a little closer in height, although Wings is still taller.
Bro, Boogie drank Prime. Boogie took a big mouthful of Prime energy drink and spat it on Jordy's head. And I was like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, I'm fighting bear. But it was like, your spit?
Dude, I love
that. You've got to smack him right there. You got to smack him.
Well, actually, Jordy said
and then you back up into like a karate stance that's comical so you can then walk away because you can't fight.
Can you believe I met this motherfucker one time and I'm like, Jordy this, Jordy that. Let me correct myself. Wings was like, he was like, I was ready for him to slap me in the face. Because I was like, bro, you fucking spat that shit on your head. Like, well, I would have fought. He was like, he could have slapped me in the face. I wouldn't have done anything there. And I was like, okay.
He's a professional.
Yeah. Well, low key, I was like, maybe he's mad. Maybe he's mad lazy.
He looked a little mad.
He's mad lazy.
He did. Actually, he had one killer line because Boogie came out and Boogie was dropping all the common bangers that we know. He was like, damn, Wings. He was like, you left the mobile home. And he was like, everyone here is here to laugh at you. And he was like, and when we get in the ring, he's like, I'm gonna drop you. And Wings was like, what are you talking about, man? I thought you go up those stairs over there and they almost dropped you. It's true. Boogie was low key struggling, just like doing his thing, like, moving. And Jordy seemed much more comfortable existing as a big man.
Can I just say, not just that. There's a moment where let's show the clip. Let's just show it. It's like a minute, right?
Jordy hitting like a heavy bag outside. Is that what you're looking for?
No, let's show them belly bumping and everything at the press.
Okay. That's a good one.
I have that on my phone.
Because you can
don't pull it up.
You can see in that moment that Wings is the one with the power. Like they bump at each other like 3 times, and Wings wins that every time. And Boogie has to go to this like arm pushy thing to try to like not look like a punk. It's
not only that
they have their shirts on.
You're right, and by the way, thank you, Woody, for all the beautiful things you said about me in regards to my fight, getting punched out of the ring and all that.
Did you see that?
I love that.
Yeah, you took that well. You took that well.
Yeah, like I was thinking about that. I was like, when you pull up.
Oh my God! There's even more belly down there.
Belly.
See, I'd have kicked that little fupa. You show me your fupa, I kick it. Don't fuck with me. I'll put one of those karate.
You should have kicked it. Like hacky sack kicked it. Like kept hacky sacking it.
Wings has to because of his hips and all. But yeah. I little sideways hacky sack. Man, fuck that. There's a moment
I told them both. I was like, where they were pushing, they were like bumping, and Wings. And this is what I was saying. Why I brought up my fight is that like there's an element of wanting it. And my first fight, I boxed Aaron, and like. We were both like boxing, but when I was boxing John, I was like, oh, he fucking wants this, needs this, and means it. I saw them on stage, and I was like, Wings fucking wants this, needs this, and means this. Boogie's like, I'm so happy that I'm not in a wheelchair.
What?
And I mean, Boogie's like, I'm so happy I'm not in a wheelchair. And Wings is like, I'm fucking ready to put you back in it. He literally said, I'm going to put you back in there. And I think that is an element. That is an element that Wings has.
Oh, man. Well, look, I'm going to have to watch. It's Saturday afternoon at like 11 a.m. for the East Coast America people. Obviously, the fight's taking place in London or whatever. Man, I was completely wrong. I didn't think Wings would actually go through with any of this. There's like 5 steps along the way where he could have backed off and quit.
Didn't he have a hiccup that was like an excuse?
Boogie said that too. Boogie was
there
like
some contract stuff, but I don't think that was on his end.
I thought there was like
Boogie was like, you got.
Maybe I'm crazy.
Boogie was like, you got fired from your own show because you couldn't go camping. And after this fight, you're going to have no money. You're going to be living in a tent at the end of it. And I'm like sitting there next to my girlfriend. I'm like, he's saying that because what happened? There was this thing. And I'm like trying to break down all the dumb shit. And she's like, But after I went up to Wings, I was like, yo, man, I'm fucking here. I literally, like, don't tell KSI, but Wings versus Boogie is why I bought a fucking flight to shit-ass country. Just kidding, like here. But I was like, I really want you guys. And he was like, hell yeah, man. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go on PKA tonight. He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, tell Kyle that I want to have the PKA reunion.
Okay.
No. I want it. I want it too. I want it more than Wings.
Maybe
I was like, oh, really? I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He was like, tell Kyle. I was like, okay. I was like, all right. So that's it. Yeah, I told you. And I have to tell you. No, okay, yeah. No, I don't know what it is, and I'm going to save it for later because I have no idea what it means. But yeah, continue.
I was going to say I was wrong. I want to be clear about that because I really did not think he was going to go through with it. I really didn't.
Me neither. I agree with you. Neither did I.
And
good for him, man.
He's still got to get in the ring, but he's like 95% of the way there. So we can almost call this good.
Bro, like if he backs out now,
I'd be very surprised if Wings does anything but win this fight.
Yeah,
bro. If either of them back out right now, like I'm right here and I'm like, funny, I brought my gloves just in case this shit happened. Turns out I'm a heavyweight too. I got fucking redemption. I think I can fuck one of you guys up after getting my ass beat by a wrestler.
Dude, you go in there and actually kill Boogie. Like that's what would happen. You'd punch his head off his shoulders. Dude,
you know, is there
any possibility of this fight being anything other than total Wings victory or Boogie being kind of, injured badly? Like, hopefully that doesn't happen, but just looking at Boogie standing there, he really struggled to stand next to Wings, even in the belly bump.
I don't think Boogie could get injured. I feel like the thing is he'll go down too easily to get hurt. To get injured takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, bravery. You have to weather a storm or two to really get rocked in boxing. Boogie will drop too quickly for any lasting damage. Oh,
no, not a punch. I'm meaning like he puts too much torque and his leg shatters. Like his ankle breaks, his knee gives out. Like after that much time of doing nothing, like trying to like throw a hip into a punch, like I bet you could really easily overexert. Like I'd be pretty scared if I was Boogie way more than Wings. Like he knows the limitations of the fight.
I just think the fall could be bad. Like I know it's a canvas and it's springy.
No, you're right. You're right. I thought that too, Kyle. I thought the same thing. I was like, falling is not something you do when you're like a big boy.
Is a boxing ring the same as an octagon? No, I've been in boxing rings. They're bouncy.
They are bouncy, I recognize that. But still,
not like as much as you would think.
I don't know. I worry that a fall could break a hip or dislocate something.
Like if you're bouncier than the ring isn't that bouncy. Like the ring's hard. You know what? It's funny. Like when for my match when I was going down there, like I'm sure they'll have this too. I did my I'm walking to the ring, and as I'm walking, even though if you guys watched, like I was very stoic and I was so like I'm fucking do this. I was conscious, and I'm walking down there, and I'm like, bro. I can't believe John Hennigan's going to be punching me in the face. And like, I'm like, this guy's going to punch me. I have to punch him in the face. This is fucked. And like, I don't know. Wings, I feel like almost has it, but I don't know if Boogie has that. I don't think if Boogie grasps, like, you're going to have to fucking punch him in the face. Yeah. And I feel like Wings means it more. I'm surprised neither of them got a trainer or anything like that. I did that right away. A lot of creators on Creator Clash the first time didn't get a trainer or a boxing coach. The second one, everyone did. But the first one, I was like, are you fucking crazy? Someone's gonna be trying to punch you in the head. You don't want to learn how to. And I see them both. They're punching their things. They're punching their things. But I don't know.
Talk to me.
We were talking about this before the show.
Boxing aficionado, a boxer, professional boxer. What am I saying? You've looked at the form of Wings. You've looked at the form of Boogie. Tell me your analysis.
Both very wrong.
Well, I think Wings, his punches, just watching like the Keemstar thing that he filmed there, I think Wings looks like he punches harder and more accurate. He looks like he punches harder and more accurate. And like I said, like, bro, like Boogie's been a little cushy. Like if you could think of a person who's got some pent up anger on YouTube, like
it's these two.
Yeah, but Wings especially, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Wings doesn't walk out there. Wings isn't even going to see Boogie. If he's smart, Wings will see Sean Ranklin in front of him. He's not going to see Boogie. He's going to see every person that's ever made a thing or a video or whatever.
What if he'd beaten up Keemstar right here? Like how crazy would that have been? If he'd taken
that's not even Keemstar.
That's overt flow. You can tell because
he looks a lot like him.
Well, except I'm pretty sure overt flow is like normal height.
But look, I mean, they look so much. You see, right?
Yeah,
They do. Yeah, you're totally right.
I didn't know that was overt flow because I don't know him by like sight. But I made a joke the other day when I saw those two together, also wearing sunglasses at the same time. That Keemstar was like Hitler, that he had a body double at all times, ready to take that bullet for him so he can disappear down to Argentina with all his money. Like one day he's gonna push it too far, and he's just gonna that avert flow button's gonna get pressed.
Man, I'm living my nightmare timeline, and I can't believe it that I'm happy with it. Because like my nightmare timeline, I was like, what if I like lose in spectacular fashion after like beefing with Keemstar a whole bunch? And thank you, my brother. and beefing with Keemstar so much. And like, what if like that happens? And I'm like, then what if Keemstar makes my dream match happen and actually gets Wings out to the UK? Then I'm gonna have to be like, Keemstar is the best YouTuber that ever existed. And he doesn't even have a YouTube channel anymore. I don't even think he's
not allowed to.
Know. Yeah, exactly. He's like, here I am. I'm like, well, I lost, and fucking Wings is in London. I'm here to watch him. I'm like, it's actually kind of chill. This whole thing, you know.
I didn't know Keemstar wasn't a YouTuber anymore.
I want to give my 2 cents on watching those two throw punches, because the thing that we noticed way back when we first saw that first footage of Boogie was that like he doesn't rotate his hips; it's all arm punches. And that's not poor technique. You don't fix that with a trainer. That's someone who's immobile. That's someone who has a handicap because of their weight and hip issues. So that's why I say these guys don't need trainers. All you're going to do is get hurt. Like, all they could do is overtrain. They're both handicapped men. You're not going to teach them this new physical skill that requires coordination and endurance and power and all those things combined.
You know what? But you know what? I think like what a trainer can do is finding what's good for you. And I've gone to a trainer like when I was in bad shape, and he was like, let's go on our let's do crab walking. And he made me crab walk, and I never saw him again. I was like, fuck that, too hard. Like, I don't mean to be rude, but like if I'm like a trainer for Boogie or Wings, and I've been there too, I was like, for over 310 pounds. If you're a trainer for me, I just want someone to come with a fucking leash, put it on my neck, and take me for a walk. If that's the level that I need, then I like that I have the accountability, and I've paid for a person to come take me for a walk. So they should have hired a dog walker and had them walk around the block
that he needed
3 times a day. And you know what? That would be a big deal.
Look, there's
lift with your knees.
Oh my God.
All right, this is silly and for YouTube. I think you should have hired a trainer, and I surprised I'm the only one who thinks that. Like, someone teach this guy to keep his hands up. Someone teach this guy what defense looks like, to blade his upper body. Like, these are all things that are quickly.
Yeah, look, he almost hurt himself. He almost hurt himself right there.
Someone teach him to set up his right with his left, right? Jab, jab, hook. Like just some combos.
What for?
Because he doesn't know that. There is some low-hanging fruit of improvement that they didn't grasp. They're just going to show up with emulating people they've seen on TV and never having learned, really?
I mean, they've seen the best in the world. They've been watching.
Do you think? Let me be like crazy for a second. Okay. There's no shot that these two guys are like posted up with fucking Mountain Dews and hot Cheetos in the same hotel right now, and they're like doing rock paper scissors to see who takes the fall in the first round, 1:30 in, and they're both like, "Fuck Keemstar."
Here's what. There's no way Wings would do that. Wings
here's what I actually
has
believe.
The W.
So Wings would do that. Wings has tried to do things like that before. But what I will say,
I know. I actually know this.
He's literally tried to pay people to take the fall before. Like, okay, so don't act like don't say Wings wouldn't do this.
I didn't know.
I know so much about him.
Yeah. When people try to fuck, people be like, Wings wouldn't do that. I'm like, actually, he did that. Here's the recording.
Can you fill me in? What was the fight?
Quickly, what happened was after he lost that 1v1 on Bog, infamously to
Syndicate.
Syndicate.
Oh my God, Zach! Amazing work.
This is literally his communications with Syndicate. Maybe a few days to a week afterwards, after there was a big stink. He's wanting to redo the match, and he's wanting Syndicate to take the fall, and they're going to split the prize money that's going to be put up by Alki David to stream the whole thing. And in this deal, if you look carefully, Wings gets the money. I think, right?
No. He's splitting it 3,000, 2,000 Syndicate's way.
I've been watching art. I have been watching. I blame the algorithm for like just just force feeding me shit sometimes because I'll try to skip it as fast as possible. That's my way of saying no, but it keeps it coming. There's this chick who I didn't even know that CrossFit was a competition. I didn't know you could compete in CrossFit, but apparently it is. And basically it's just like working out in front of dudes in your underwear, and it keeps promoting this giant blonde bitch. She's so enormous. She has like 8-pack abs and like kind of man face. I can't remember. I wish I knew what her name was. I wrote it down.
And you enjoy watching these, or it's just
no, it won't stop.
It doesn't make any sense. Kyle, I'm with you. All my ads when I like just go to news sites and stuff, it's fucking pegging and fish tanks and
it's like the guy
more pegging. Yeah.
I'm tired of all these goddamn gay conversion camps advertising all over my Google.
But you like fish tanks, Woody. You said that you were buying an aquarium.
I am another one, yeah.
So do you want to talk to us about the pegging now?
Why? You like it too?
I saw a guy who he said,
"I will."
Are you offering? I just clarifying.
The guy's wife was asking him to look at some link on Facebook. He's like, all the ads are for divorce attorneys.
Yeah, right. Fuck. Just pegging in Cialis. I thought everyone was getting this.
Yeah. Sometimes you get a wake up call when you're just getting hammered with like Domino's, Pizza Hut, Papa John's. I've been making a lot of bad decisions. Yeah. I think that was probably the funniest thing that older boomers did for that brief window was complain about targeted, embarrassing ads. That doesn't happen anymore. Most of them have figured it out. I think there was that one guy who was like an actual congressman who was like, why are the ads always so gay? Or like something along those lines. I don't recall it exactly, but it's like that. Damn, it's too bad they figured that out.
And like, Google was like, you know why. You know exactly why.
Why is there so much gay porn on my Google device? And it's like, that's a laptop, sir. Like, and it's playing right now loudly.
Those are my favorite like creep photos, I'll call them. When you catch some old geezer in the library, like the public library, with porn on one of those computers over there. What are those guys are just real rapscallions. What balls to be in a public library, and they're
not scared of prison.
They're not scared of anything.
No,
they have no shame.
They go in there and they alpha everyone at the library. Probably an easy place to alpha.
I've seen so many pictures of like the dudes over there and like clearly just up on a monitor. He's got just porn.
What did you see? What kind? Just
you guys watch porn?
Yeah,
sure.
I can't believe how many people are like so anti-porn.
Do you know people who are anti-porn? You realize
literally like 80% of
Canadians.
Sam doesn't consume porn.
I think
Does he
Sam
see it as like a
gives
free speech
absurdist
thing?
answers to pretty much everything. If you asked him his favorite source of protein, he'd probably say camel tongue or something. You know,
he claimed to be 5'1".
That is true, and he's tall.
Yeah, just to like be like, what, Harley? I heard you were tall. I mean, I'm 6'2", so what are you?
Did I tell you guys what? So when I met him, he said he was 6'4". When I met him, he was taller than me, and I was like, "Whoa, it's so crazy! What a crazy move to like be like, you know, not that tall." But then later in the office, like on like the 5th day I was there, he was like, "Dude," he was like, "You got to get these." So funny. So you got to get these lifts. You put them in your shoes.
What?
Yeah, he was like, yeah, we were walking around like, you know, Joey was like 6'1". It was so funny. And I was like, oh, that's so joke. And I didn't think about it. And then I was editing the footage later, and I was like, oh, shit. I rolled up the first day and he had lifts on.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Wearing lifts when you're 6'5".
I bought lifts. And when I did the wrestling thing with John, I showed up at that wrestling event and I was like 6'8". I was like, thank you. Thank you, Sam, for this little tip. I like that.
Dude,
you can't be too tall. Like he was like 6'4", and I saw him. I was like, dude, I think you're like 6'7.5", and he was like, He probably had lifts on. I went to the wrestling thing. I'm like, I'm gonna do the lift thing, and I'm like sliding them into my boot. I'm like 6'5". This is like nauseating. Why would I go in there and be like 6'8.5"? But I was.
What do lifts look like?
They're like a little like
the heel of your shoe.
You put them in regular
you put
shoes?
them on. Yeah, you're like standing on your tippy toe in your shoes. Woody, just do it. Just get them. Order them on Amazon.
Be bigger than
you're gonna see 3.5 inches or whatever. Like, just get them.
So you're just walking around with your heels slipping out of your shoe all day?
No. You know, it doesn't. You'd be shocked at how seamless it is. Put them in your shoe and just like literally nothing.
Yeah,
I get the biggest one.
It's like heels for a man.
Dude,
you're just on your tippy toes in your shoes.
I have some. What are you talking about? Let's get some. This is.
It's like next week. Next week on PK, everyone's like this.
I love that, Kyle. What do you mean get some? I have lifts. I have backup lifts. I have different heights.
I have the same fucking kit. No, whenever I remember when I had to do that shit with Richard Ryan, and Richard Ryan is legitimately like
Richard Ryan. He's fucking chill.
It won't fit in a shoe.
Yeah,
I
got
those centimeters. Yeah, centimeters.
Yeah, I've got those. Yeah, I don't want fucking Richard Ryan towering over me on the internet. I gotta get some lifts. I wore my big boy boots too.
4.4 inches is crazy. That's like
I didn't go crazy with it though. Like I just tried to like match him, tried to be in the same zone.
Next time I see any of you guys in person, I'm gonna be bananas with the
take your shoes off. Take your shoes off.
No, I can't. I have a medical condition.
I'm gonna be on stilts like a circus clown.
Yes.
Like what? That's all you guys are tall.
See, they don't know.
I'm fucking hard. I'm gonna be hard. I'm gonna take boner pills. I'm just like, what's up, dudes? I'm like penis pointing straight out. I'm like 6'9". I'm like everything's normal.
Thing.
You're always turning away to fluff, then turning back. Yeah.
Yo, Wings told me to tell you that he wanted a reunion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's fucking roll up at his house. We'll get the address from Keemstar. We won't even tell him. Be like, you wanted that reunion? We're all here. I'm here too. I came too.
Well, the ultimate prank would be to hook a truck up to his house, and he would just wake up and he's on the road.
Yes, the ultimate prank. Stealing his home, kind of.
With him in it.
I had never seen that footage earlier of him with his wife in a wheelbarrow. But that was good stuff. I'm going to have to go back and watch some more of that.
Do you guys remember?
Yeah, watch that Keemstar video of them. It's going to chill.
Do you remember that prior to the survival trip, the first one that Kyle and I did, Wings was excited and he was talking about his opportunity to prove his manlyhood. He really had a lot of like machismo invested in this thing. He wanted to prove all his naysayers wrong. It didn't work out that way, but he talked about that a lot. He called Lefty a pussy 50 times, right? Yep. Like because Lefty straight up said, he's like, nope, camping's not for me. He's like, I'm actually a lot heavier than I look on camera, and I don't want my big ass to be on this survival trip. He said, like, boom,
and he's in Chicago. There. He was like, I'm from Chicago. Like, yeah, I don't belong in the woods.
Right. Whatever. So, but those were the things that he like just said out loud on air, and it says not for me. And Wings comes back with, you're a pussy. You're not a man if you don't do this. Anyway, fast forward 10-ish years, Wings has an opportunity to prove his courage again, and I think he's about to grand slam this thing. I'm excited for him.
He's gonna do it.
Is this
it's
the
like
redemption of Wings of Redemption?
It is.
He beats up Boogie.
Yeah.
You know what the real redemption would be?
Not even beating up Boogie, just doing it. I think just literally he's 90% there, just going.
Harley, you know I agree.
Taking your shirt off and he had to take his shirt off, bro.
He already did at the presser thing.
I couldn't believe it.
Doesn't Syndicate live right there in town? Isn't that where Syndicate lives?
Yeah, the whole country is like 60 miles wide. He can come over.
50.
Seems like he's already there. Maybe he could challenge Syndicate. If he beats Boogie, that's what he should do. He should challenge Syndicate in the post fight. He should have that in his head. If you see him again, tell him.
Oh my God, that's fucking brilliant.
I saw Boogie. I was like, bro, do you have a firearm on you? If you do, we fucking take over this whole country right now. Like, it's ready, bro.
Yeah, he only fired
those guns with fucking swords at the end, and those guys with the silly hat. There's no bullets in that thing.
No,
there's no bullet.
You
could be the king, bro. You could be the king.
Yeah.
He's like been the king for 5 days. You can go be the king.
Yeah, we're seeing the birth of the King of Redemption with this bloodbath of Boogie, because it's going to be a bloodbath. The fight will end whenever Wings decides it's been enough. That's my prediction.
You know what's gonna be so crazy is
I think Boogie's going to fall.
if you were God forbid either of them fall, to be honest with you, because I agree with you, Kyle. Falling is a big deal.
Is it?
Like that's a big.
I don't have that.
400 pounds.
I would never have a fat friend, obviously.
You never been fat, Woody. You don't know what it's like. I've been fat before, bro. You don't get it.
Seen our subreddit? I think I have been.
He's not fat.
Now, Harley, you're doing a little stolen valor here, pretending your fat was ever like wings or like, let's get real. You never had to get. You never had to get like inertia to get out of bed, like building up momentum. No,
and I hurt my back putting on socks. Doesn't count.
Hasn't Boogie had health problems, like serious health problems, right?
Yeah.
I thought he has a fused spine or something. Gastric bypass, but like some sort of.
I feel like didn't Taylor. Your nose was broken. I don't know if it was a fight or not.
No, I broke it in playing tag once when I was like 7. My brother and I like ran around the corner at the same time, and his forehead hit my nose.
I had that.
And it
that happened to me too.
It shocked me, but it was the same thing Woody and Kyle said, where like it wasn't the pain that scared me. It was the enormous amount of blood, because we were in the unfinished like hockey concrete area. We had like a little net. We were playing tag, and I remember like the blood started pouring so bad that like I went to go through the basement hallway that had carpet on it, and I like stutter stepped because I'm like, I'm gonna get in so much trouble if I bleed all over it. But then I was bleeding so much that I freaked out. I did bleed everywhere, and then went to the hospital. The second time was basketball, and they had to like move everyone to the other side of the gymnasium in 8th grade because there was like,
so there might be AIDS
and it was this dude on my own team. And I've said this before. It was the same dude who fucked up this finger. No, he was on my team. We were both like dog shit at basketball. And so like they put me, like they had like colored teams. And so I was like, it was like blue, gray, like black, green. I was on gray, dog shit, terrible. I don't know if it was actually ranked by color, but I felt bad. And this other guy, he came down for
even
a
our
rebound.
colors suck.
Yeah, even our colors sucked. Our shitty little pennies. Like, and I remember this dude jumped up, and Phil grabbed the ball and came down, and it was like a total practice. Everybody else was already jogging back to the other side, and he came down and started swinging his elbows so aggressively as though he was protecting it. And I was the only person even close to him, and he broke my nose on the same line.
He elbowed you.
Yeah, he elbowed me. And he was on my team there. I have this ring finger doesn't bend right because this knuckle got broken, and so it doesn't bend all the way down anymore. That was from the same guy, senior year of high school now, also on the same team again. We were both on the same flag football team, and I grabbed Matthew's flag, and that's the end of it. Phil grabbed my hand to pull the flag out to like wave at the gym coach, and he like grabbed onto the tip of my right ring finger and like broke it to the side. And like
let's fuck this guy.
And so like the nail doesn't grow right, the nail's all short and shitty. And I remember thinking like,
Taylor on
what you do, what you do is you pull it and it pops.
Short and shitty. What do you mean?
It didn't.
You don't have the tip of your finger?
No, it's just, I'll show it to you next time in person. It's a little fucked up.
Jesus.
But yeah, it was all to the side and it hurt a lot, but I didn't want to like go to the doctor or nurse or anything. And I had seen on TV or something that like if you break a finger, you kind of just like pop it back. And I did, and it did not heal correctly. So yeah.
You know what another idea would be? To go to a doctor.
That's true, but like where
I wanted to avoid doctors all the time when I can.
You're Jewish. How can you avoid them? They're at your family reunion.
True.
Yeah, like there's like 2 extra like bone nubs up here now that aren't on my other fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like wider and thicker and doesn't bend right. I don't know, but not cool. Two lifelong injuries from not lifelong. The broken nose was fine. The only other lifelong injury I've gotten in the past few years has been my ass dent, which is
I want to see that.
It's starting to, I'm buffing it out. I've been doing a lot of hip thrusts, a lot of glute bridges, trying to earn my way back. It actually is, yeah, but it's not. It'll never, I'll never have my lovely ass again. I know it's such a wonderful ass.
The calf on my broken leg is like 90, 95% back, but not 100.
Yeah, it's if I stand with my ass like in the mirror the right way, like I can see like the big dent. I'm exaggerating the size of the dent, but it's enough that if you saw me naked, you'd be like, "What's wrong with the top of his ass? Why is the like lower part of his back?"
That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to go on. That's just me.
that's a suicide entry for Kyle.
I don't know, man. I mean, with the finger, if it was just the finger or just the butt, I'd. But the combo, that's
and the eyes. You would have ended it all by now.
Oh, the eyes. You poor man. Yeah, I can't imagine waking up and not being able to see. That's
you just have to. I wake up like everyone else. You wake up and then you wait 15 to 20 minutes until everything comes into focus, and then you like everyone else, like everybody else starts their day.
I don't understand how to live life where you can't see well enough to find your glasses.
Oh no, if I'm wearing glasses, they're always like right on my bedside. And if there have been times though where like I have in my sleep knocked my glasses off the end table. And then like I wake up and I'm like squinting at it and I'm like, I know I did. And I'm like going around to surfaces around my house squinting. And then I'll think like, oh, I probably knocked it off.
Do you just get the wife to find them ever? No.
I'm an independent boy. Take care of it myself. Yeah.
I'm not independent at all. No. I ask her to get my glasses just because I don't want to get up.
Nope. No, I'm all
I'm
over
sure at some point I will need some glasses. I almost look forward to it. It's a cool accessory. You know, like I like your frames. I like all of your frames that I've seen you guys have. I'm often envious. I'm like, I wish I needed some glasses. Maybe if I just struggled to read, like sometimes I have the print on my phone on like the smallest, and sometimes I do have to bring it close, and I'm like, am I losing it? Is it time for glasses? Because I want them. It's like a fashion.
That's indicative of really good eyesight. That small font. My daughter, when she sees my phone, she thinks it's hilarious. She's just like, "This is such an old person font you're rocking here."
You gotta.
I don't throw stones at that.
Yeah. You know the old person telephones they used to sell with like the
it's the jitterbug.
The jitterbug.
Are you too much of a senile retard to call your grandchildren?
Try the jitterbug is so simple.
The jitterbug automatically turns off if you try and read a credit card into it.
The jitterbug is so fucking simple. It looks like a child's telephone that you teach kids their numbers with. It's like it's like 9 buttons, and it's just a big ass phone. Each button's huge. I remember those commercials. I bet they don't make them anymore.
I don't know.
Jitterbug.
That's it. But gosh,
holy shit, that's a different thing.
Oh, that's a classic.
I feel like this is a phone you use.
Old school version of what my iPhone looks like.
Yeah.
God damn.
You call someone angrily on there.
Oh, I don't know that.
See, they need to show that like that thing's 14 inches tall. Like
yeah, it's a big clamshell phone. Like that takes up your whole hip pocket when it's folded.
Oh,
is that what you guys are talking about?
Yeah. They had TV commercials.
I'm not familiar with that thing.
This is the more modern version of the jitterbug, though. The one I remember is even more simplistic. The ones that were like, advertised on TV. I mean, that's just straight up like modern, Android phone or whatever,
normal phone
or iPhone, I guess.
with
whatever.
Front.
Though they do have it turned up pretty big, I guess.
I mean, the jitterbug is. Do you guys know anybody who like opted to go back to flip phones and was like, I would smartphones?
You would?
I would for fun
on the internet.
No, it's a silly, stupid thing for me to say. What I meant to say is like I still want my iPhone. I just wouldn't mind doing all my phone calls talking on like a Motorola Razr. I just want to take it out. I want to have like the fucking, I don't know if you remember the ringtone you used to do. Hello, Moto.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to do that and I want to pull it up and be like, hello. And then I'm like,
you're right. When I switched to the iPhone, it felt like it was 100 steps forward and 4 steps back because the clamshell opening up and fitting by your mouth and by your ear at the same time. Yeah. It's a better form factor for phone calls.
It is.
This was last week that like very entertaining. It was going through this guy, a bunch of posts about how dinosaurs totally fucking made up, a ridiculous lie, not real. blah, 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 all that. He's like, the fucking bones are radioactive, but the bones aren't there. And like just a bunch of shit. And like you get to like the bottom bit of it. And would you believe it? The dinosaur fakers also pedophiles.
Shit.
It's all. Did you see that? Did you see that coming?
No.
These guys can't even focus enough on faking dinosaurs. They love kids so much. Like that's everyone.
I do like that conspiracy theory that dinosaurs are fake because the word dinosaur didn't exist until like 150 years ago or something like that. No one had ever. Obviously, the story is that for all of time we've been finding big bones and not knowing what they were, but the other side says we never saw a dinosaur bone before, and then suddenly they're everywhere. And they look like this, and here's how they sounded. They think it's a big conspiracy.
Yeah, but they take shit that's true and extrapolate it to a million. Where they're like, did you know that these skeletons they're extrapolated from tooth bones? And it's like
you can't debate them. Have you ever?
True sometimes, but like that doesn't mean this shit's like a whole cloth and throw it away. Like.
There's a lot of incentives involved for them to make it.
But you ever speak?
Go ahead.
No, I don't want to.
That their discovery was more significant than it really was. That's how they get grants. That's how they keep going. That's how they keep their jobs.
That applies to every
that's
part
interesting.
of research.
But I always thought it was. I thought it was crazy. Like if you've ever been in a debate with a flat earther or someone like that, is the fake moon landing. They know so much more about the subject than you do.
I have a whole new respect for flat earthers. I want to squeeze it in before the
really.
ad
Let's
break.
do it.
Yes. Here's the thing that I have learned about flat earthers. You think that what they're telling you is they think the earth is flat. Nay. That's not the point of flat earthing. For a tiny percentage, maybe. But overwhelmingly, what flat earthers are telling you is that they don't believe fuck all unless you really prove it to them, right? So if you tell them there's a hole in the ozone, they're like, fuck you, I don't believe you scientists. Unless you can somehow demonstrate to me how there's a hole, I don't buy it. They don't buy anything you're telling them without a lot of proof involved. And I think about what I believe, what I know. So much of what I know is just blind faith. Blind faith.
True.
I'm learning about how carbon dioxide lowers the pH in a fish tank or the ocean, same thing. And basically what happened, you think pH is a measure of acidity, and it is, but it's actually a measure of the free hydrogen ions sitting in the water, right? So when carbon dioxide introduces itself into the water, it becomes like hydroxide acid or something. It's like H2O3. And then that loose hydrogen goes in the water and it lowers the pH level, right? I've learned how this works and the covalent bonds and shit. I'm coming up to speed on it. It's all making sense. Cool. I don't have any proof of any of this. I don't know. It is all blind faith. I can't tell you what's happening that hydrogen atoms are separating from like calcium carbonate or whatever the fuck is happening.
But it can be proven. That's something that you could look at under an electron microscope and watch happen. And then the proof is in the pudding, right? When the chemistry comes out, like math.
But he's operating on.
I don't believe it until you prove it to me, right? Till you show me. So, and I'm just trusting that the people who can prove it have proven it, and that the peer-reviewed research, but none of it is being proven to me. And that's what flat earthers are saying. They're like, I can prove the earth is round with photos and pictures and curves. And, we could take two 15-foot poles and put them long enough that they're not level anymore or whatever, right? They're like on a beach or something like that.
Yeah.
But they're not saying the earth is flat. They're saying prove everything to me.
Yeah, they're mentally
and I don't
ill.
take
Is
anything
the problem.
on faith.
But you can't live your life that way, though.
Right.
Like every step of the way, your boss, like you're the construction site. You're like, hey, I need 3 meters of concrete over here. Concrete's not even real, man. You tell me the Romans invented that shit thousands of years ago, and we're still using the same stuff. Why do they? You want some
Romans?
Portland,
Try the Jews.
So that's not a real one, though, right? They know concrete's real, but a better one is from my own experience. For until I was like 19, I didn't really know that medicine worked. Not really, not for sure. Did Motrin cure my headache? Like,
or did time pass? Like
90 minutes later, your headache kind of went away. I was going to do that anyway. I don't fucking know. Taylor nailed it on the head, right? It wasn't until I had strep throat that got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and so bad I couldn't swallow, I couldn't eat. I was getting really, really ill and weak. And I went to the doctor, and he was shocked by how bad I had let my strep throat become. But I was a dumb 19-year-old, didn't think to go to the doctor soon enough. My mom always handled that decision making, and then they gave me something Cillin, and in like an hour, I'm better. This had gotten worse for like 16 days in a row or something insane like that. And in an app, cause and effect, right? That's when I learned medicine worked. I was a flat earther with regards to prescription medicine or Motrin or whatever. I can just, not that I'm a flat earther, but I can imagine how somebody would be. That's all.
Did you know there's actually another layer of it that I found? Like, not all of them think, well, I don't know if this is divisive within that community or not, but some of them think that it's like, there's an ice wall. Most of them think the ice wall thing, and that Antarctica isn't a little continent at the bottom of the planet. It's actually a ring around everything. Get this. Some of them say that's not even the truth. There's the ice wall, but beyond the ice wall is not the end. There are additional oceans, additional continents. And these things they do not need evidence for. They're all in on this part. And it's fascinating. It's really interesting. And it's interesting the same way like Warhammer lore is fun, where it's like, I want to know what you think about the flat earth. The problem is some of it, I can't tell if I'm being trolled. Like I can't tell if this person who's saying these things sincerely believes them, or if they're doing it so convincingly that I am sitting there making fun of someone while they're at home going, look at these retards believing me. Like
what's interesting about what you said with the oceans is it invalidates what I talked about, right? I was like, hey, they're saying, prove it to me. Yet they accept on blind faith that there's additional oceans out there.
Yeah, there could be more oceans or just an ice wall. Like that part is, the science is, like, you don't know. But, like,
prove to me there's no ice wall. You're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, and see, that's all the proof I need to this. You can't prove against it.
You know what? I'm gonna do you a solid. Just for that, I'm gonna do you solid.
What up?
Photos of the
wait, keep going. You still have more ads?
No, it's all done.
What was the energy drink called?
It's a Gorilla Mind energy drink. Okay. It's the same company as.
Cool. You get me those pills. You give me those pills, and just tell me you get me a PK Christmas sweater. All right? You do that, guys. Hear me out. I'll eat that. I'll take a bite of that fucking raw onion that everyone keeps fucking bitching about. Keep bitching about this fucking onion. It's not even a big deal. Bro, I get messages about the onion. Can you hear our last chance? Just hear about the onion. It's our last chance. He's acting like a and then people are like, oh, this podcast is so lazy. You go watch other podcasts, they do so much. This podcast is telling me we're talking about the onion. And then I look at him like, bro, you say fucking bite an onion. Okay, I'll bite the fucking onion. Just get me my cum pills, and I'll fucking do it.
Okay.
You line me up with those cum pills, I'll bite the onion for you, and then everyone could shut the fuck up about the onion. You know how many messages I got about the onion, bro? You do, because you probably got a lot of messages.
Yeah, people tweet me pictures of onions all the time. Still, they'll be like, eat the onion, bitch. And then I'll be like, at this point, I'm kind of enjoying like not eating the onion and seeing people upset.
You're like, I'll get the Jew to eat the onion.
Yeah, I'll get him.
No, but fair trade. You get me those cum pills, I'll bite the fucking onion.
I genuinely didn't know there was an onion kerfuffle, but can I eat the onion and take the bullet? Like I just don't want.
Yeah, you eat the onion, bro. I'll be honest with you. I've bit raw onions before.
I'll eat a significant amount of an onion next show.
I've eaten a significant amount of an onion on my own.
I found a new TV show I like a lot, and I want to talk about that. And if we can do that instead, I will take a big old onion bite. Now, I'll find.
Let's go.
I will find a dirty.
I get cum pills. He's not eating an onion, and you get to talk about the show. Everyone wins. If Wings wins.
I will find a conflict region onion, a blood onion, if you will, the most active, acidic onion that money can buy. I'll have to use crypto to buy
Ukrainian
it.
From Elon's onion mines.
Yeah, yes. I'm gonna fucking yes. That's what they feed the emerald miners in South Africa. Yeah. Nothing but those awful onions.
Like that movie Holes. 100 years old.
Say goodbye.
Oh,
hello.
My phone died there, and I'm.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I'm charging it right now. I have enough power just to say I love you guys and thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. Love you too, man. It's always a pleasure.
You love me, but I'm just using you for sex. I hope that doesn't hurt you.
It's totally fine.
All right.
I love you truly. Take care.
Okay, good night, guys. Bye.
Hey. Later, Harley.
Harley's the best. I love that dude.
Yes. Yeah.
I have never met him in person.
I have.
He seems like such a fun guy to hang out.
He's very tall.
Yeah.
He's very tall.
Not really. He's like
but he's an ally of mine, and so like he has
stilts. I watched this video, and it's shot from an old school camera, and but it's GoPro style, and it's these skydivers, and there's like one of those like 1990s TV voiceovers is like, Jason was jumping that day with 2 new students and an instructor.
I know.
And he's filming the other people as they spin, do stuff as instructor and student. It was at this point when Jason realized he himself did not have a parachute. And he was far too far away from anyone to rescue him. And so you just watch him flail a little bit for a while, and then they cut it off before he hits the ground.
Yeah.
He just forgot.
He just forgot.
How comfortable do you have to be jumping out of a plane to neglect your entire parachute? I don't get it.
All right, checklist. Parachute.
Because
no.
So I would argue that maybe paramotoring and skydiving have like a similar kind of risk profile, right? And I've done both. That's what I took away from it.
I agree,
dude. You check your buckles, your clips. You do it the same way every single time. You like if there's any deviations, I'll like fucking to start from the scratch. You know, if I go like I buckle up in like from bottom up. You know, it's like leg straps, the chin, the waist strap, the chest strap, and then your helmet strap. And if something happens along the way that like distracts me or whatever, I don't pick up from where I left off. I do the thing from the start.
Yep.
How this guy just kind of like, totally forgot the chute. Like, were you not checking every buckle like 4 times before the jump?
It's the most important thing of skydiving. It's the only thing that makes it not suicide. Like, is the parachute.
I can't argue.
Like that.
bombing run.
What a horrible minute.
It was so long.
It's longer than that, I bet.
He was up there when he realized, but far everybody else is above him.
He went through all 5 stages. By the time he was like hitting the ground, he's welcoming it. Like
I'd be aiming for a soft spot.
Stages.
Fuck,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that was a really scary video to watch because the narrator kind of he doesn't immediately tell you what the problem is. He's like, today would be Dave's last day because he didn't know he didn't have a parachute. Watch him jump now. He's like, Dave was recording his friends with an 16 millimeter Kodak color camera, rare at the time. It's like, dude, I was interested in the camera, and then all of a sudden he's like, by the way, this guy doesn't have a parachute.
That should be, you buried the lead here.
Yeah.
This should be about a guy falling to his death. Well, that sounds like an awful video. I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, you don't want to see that.
Yeah,
you don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's hope. Well, if he was the instructor, I guess no one needed to get fired. It kind of solved itself.
Yeah, takes care of itself. He won't be doing that again. Oh, you've been following the Bud Light shit or the Budweiser shit, I guess we should say.
I think so.
Yeah.
Apparently, it actually has had a tremendous effect, and they're just not selling a lot of it. Although
I heard 17%, which matters.
Yeah, diminishing that effect.
I saw
of
like
course,
up to
is the people
26.
who don't know how many beers Anheuser-Busch owns. You know,
they own a whole lot. Their sales are struggling from it now, but I mean, it's the largest brewery on the planet, and so it's like, yeah, their American market share is taking a hit right now, but like globally, they're fine. Like they're the biggest
premier brand
on earth. Their own, Bud Light and Budweiser are their premier brands, but it's also like, imagine a really bad marketing call for Coca-Cola, and it runs in the United States.
Okay.
Now that doesn't impact Coke sales in Japan, Zimbabwe, everywhere else.
Pepsi
Similar with this, like
with the Kardashians.
They might have. I'm not familiar with that one. Oh yeah, Pepsi.
Or when they had that lottery and those people died.
The Pepsi one wasn't like nearly as unpopular as this Budweiser one.
I agree.
But dude, like being in St. Louis, like we are Budweiser's home court. Like nobody has market share here like Bud, and like in gas stations and stores, Like Bud Light is marked down significantly. I noticed like this was maybe a month or so ago that I was having some buddies over, so I was going to pick up some beer, and I usually like Bud Select, Bud Light, just like basic shit like that. I enjoy. It's fine. And I went there, and apparently, like, I kind of took this as an indicator of how bad their sales were before the data came out, or how bad other competitors took it to be. Because Yuengling, which is a Florida brewery, which is, it's a better quality than a Budweiser, they were selling Yuengling Light next to the Bud Light, undercutting it. And so, like, other brands were taking a little loss off the top to insert in areas where Bud has heavy market share to try and get some. And so literally I went to go get I don't give a fuck. I was going to grab Bud Light. It's fine. And right next to the Bud Light is Yuengling Light for $1 less. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to save 15 calories of beer and $1. Give me the fucking Yuengling. And guess what I found out? Yuengling Light's genuinely way better than Bud Light. But as soon as they move that price up, back to Bud Light.
I think that you're an example of a person with a fully functional brain, but I bet you went to school with some bros who call Bud Light the gay beer now, and that will be in their consciousness forever. 10 years from now, Budweiser is still going to be the gay beer. So do you know what ear to get pierced, Woody? Because it was made abundantly clear to me in elementary school which one was gay, which one wasn't.
The right
all right,
one,
and we took it to heart.
Here's the thing. I don't know how long. I expected it not to be long lasting because, like, Nike did. I guess the Colin Kaepernick thing with Nike, that's totally in the rearview mirror. No one gives a fuck about that.
That's racism. We let that
remember
go.
They were like throwing Keurigs out off their balconies and shit. I don't remember what they did wrong, but the right hated them. That's totally in the rearview.
That's convenient coffee. You got nowhere
under the bridge. I had another one. I forgot. I can't even remember
Dixie
all
Chicks?
the like.
They never came back. They had to change their fucking name.
That is counter.
They're just the chicks.
But it seems like the right cancels a brand every 4 or 6 months.
Yeah.
And then it gets uncanceled.
It's fucking embarrassing how they'll be like, actually, Bud Light's gay, so buy my $65 12 pack of Patriot Winter Brew. And it's like, good God, you're just a grifter, embarrassing loser. Like, yeah, it will hit. Like, a difference between the Nike thing and the Bud Light thing is their core market. A Bud Light, an average Bud Light drinker is like not a lib for
blue
the
collar.
most part. Like blue collar, more conservative, right wing leading. It was a terrible marketing decision.
You know why?
I don't know why on earth they would do that. So fucking stupid.
Unfortunately, Budweiser has a new president. They have a lady for the first time ever, and she wanted the brand to be more, quote unquote, more inclusive. So she's their flagship brand.
Like something.
That
was insulting. I phrased it so stupid. I'm so sorry. It sounds like you know something I didn't know. I just learned that from you. All right.
Yeah, they did bring in like a new like advertising lady, hyper progressive, very common for progressives in advertising to like shoehorn shit in, and that is very jarring to a lot of people. But what you're saying, Woody, I don't think that this will have it will fade into the rear view. And the people who have already made their purchasing decision now to pivot, I don't think they're likely to come back because they're like rah-rah about it. But everyone else will forget. Everyone else will be like, one summer from now, oh, Bud Light, just basic fucking beer. Like all of these boycotts, it's not going to amount to much more after a couple of years. They own fucking 500 banners of beer. They're the biggest brewery on earth.
Yeah, the problem is that I don't feel like they can't back off. They almost have to double down. They almost have to go even.
They should not.
They almost have to go gayer with it and have they need
dude. I hope they do.
They have to have 2 trans men with a Puerto Rican baby they've neutered.
Wait, no,
and they're walking it like a dog.
Double down. Better yet, reshape the beer can to be penis shaped. You just fucking drink from the tip.
I love that. And afterward, you can sit on it.
Hey, give me a Bud Light. Give me a Bud Light. Do you want cut or uncut? Give me the fucking cut. Give me the cut. But you know what? That's the last straw.
This is America.
The last straw.
Yeah.
The cop can is where I draw the line.
I'm the other way. I only drink gay beer. I want people to know I'm on the right side of history.
You're an
Puerto Rican weak and all the dicks are brown. Man, look, I promise you, they're gonna double down on that shit because they won't learn their lesson. They'll be like, "Oh, we're standing proud," and it'll go down on. They'll do something. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see the commercial. By the way, anybody who drinks Bud Light, you just have awful taste. I mean, I don't like beer, but I can tell you that's bad beer.
It's not that bad. It's
bad beer.
It's fine. Like
it's bad beer.
If you're at a hocky game, if you're
it's
at
McDonald's
a
of beer.
Bar, yeah, it is literally yes. Do you think
McDonald's is bad food?
It is bad food, but sometimes it's what you need. Sometimes it's what you need, man. Like if I'm sitting watching a Blues game at the Enterprise Center,
Rolling Rock.
I'm watching a whole sports game. I'm watching a whole sports game. Do you think that I want to sit there and drink some like heavy 8% quadruple IPA bullshit, or do I want a nice light, low alcohol?
Like it's Guinness or Bud. No, get a Yingling, get a Rolling Rock, get a Dos Equis, get a Corona, get a Miller Lite. I will drink a pitcher of Miller Lite, fucking warm, before I drink a cold Bud Light.
Okay, the thing about Miller Lite is it's actually better than Bud Light. It has a worse aftertaste, but it's less calories. It's 15 less calories.
It's less alcohol though, so you got to drink more of it.
Oh, I thought it was the same.
I think it's like 5 even or something, maybe 4.8. It's one of those.
I assumed all of the big lights were the same, like Bud, Coors, and Miller.
Any of these beers in front of me, I'd have no idea which is which.
I picked Bud Light out of the
regular
lineup
versus light. Like I don't drink beer at all.
Light just means less calories, so you can be like, "Oh, I'm not making as bad of a decision."
What else does it have less of?
Alcohol.
Mouthfeel.
It's a super light, lower alcohol beer that's like meant to be drank like over the course of the day, like outside or at a sporting event, like
while driving.
Yeah.
On the road.
Just an anytime beer, man. just something to take the edge off.
You know, you might think that drinking and driving is really frowned upon everywhere, but I swear, like I know a guy, he'd come around and be like, it's such a nice rainy day. I saw him at the gas station. I'll never. It's one of my dad's kind of friends, but I was going into a gas station. He was coming out and he had a whole case of beer, and I was like, "Where you going, Ronnie?" He's like, on a rainy day like this, I just like to ride and drink. He was going to get in his truck on this nice, calm, rainy day because nobody would be on the roads, he thought, I suppose, and just drink that 12-pack of beer while he just caroused the county.
That is just a incompetent murderer.
It's just basically
manslaughter.
After hockey, so I came from New Jersey. And in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, at least in my circle, no one would drink or drive. It was like a hard, fast thing. You wouldn't drink and drive. Having an open container while driving was jaw-dropping. But even if you did like drink, you made like damn sure to do that like less than a drink an hour thing so that you'd be legal and stuff. That was my world in Jersey.
Wow.
I would play hockey. Guys would have like 3 beers after the game in a hurry and then just drive home. And
yeah, you're buzzed.
It was shocking to me.
So I just sort of took it to heart early on that it was a bad idea to drink and drive, and I just took it so seriously that I never even attempted it. I don't think. I know I've driven buzzed for sure, like a time or two that I shouldn't have, but I've certainly never been like drunk driving, like many drinks or anything. And I always didn't think too much of that. I thought that it was just like, what, you're a little bit inconvenienced here, like get a ride home or sleep it off or whatever.
It's a very
like to me, it was always like, dude, chill right here in this parking lot for 3 hours. Let's smoke cigarettes and listen to the radio and not kill somebody, right? Like, because I didn't nuggets.
I didn't like drinking very much, and I was also like an athlete when I was young, and because of that, I wanted to be designated driver. And everyone else was thrilled that somebody wanted to be designated driver. So it was a win all over the place.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
You were popular.
I had 2 friends that they were drunk and driving. And they were like goofing about driving in separate cars, and they crashed into each other and like kept going, and they were like dented up and they fucked up their cars.
Damn.
And it was just impactful for me. It was like, wow, like it's incredibly dangerous. And this is a guy has a high risk profile, and they didn't ruin their cars.
Easy to annoy me and lose my business as a viewer for whatever value that has. There's a Star Trek YouTuber I loved. He referred to America as a death cult the other day. I was like, "Fuck you."
Did he call us the Great Satan?
Yeah, he called us a fucking death cult. And then
it's a gun thing, right? The Second Amendment.
Yeah. And then he said something else that I also didn't like. I can't remember what it was, but it was also
anti-gun people are calling the Second Amendment a death cult or suicide cult or something. Yeah.
Well, they better hope I don't think of that. Start thinking about their
What a
freedom
low
of
IQ
speech as
thing.
a speech cult or anything.
I'm with you. I'm pro gun. And
Yep.
Guns are great.
I recognize that probably lots of guns lead to more gun shootings.
It's why.
Not going to deny that. I'm not going to be some like crazy guy who's like, you know what? It's really not about guns at all. No. Lots of guns
all
around.
about guns.
Lots of guns around make shootings more common. But
Yeah, lots of cars do. Like lots of car crashes too. Like nobody's talking about stricter vehicle registration after that dude plowed into all those people last week. One of them's a hot button political issue. The other one's not. Nobody's fucking with the NSTCA or fucking Ford Motor Company.
What's the NSTCA? The
National Highway Traffic Safety Association. Did I get that right?
I think you did.
I'll go with it.
Something like that. I used to quote that real fast to people to trick them into buying cars. Oh, the NSTCA says this, and then this traffic. They do the traffic ratings, the 35 mile per hour impacts and shit from the side and stuff. Like that's where these ratings come
the
from.
Trick. What kind of fucking rubes falling off an apple cart were you selling cars to that you could quickly say the National Highway Safety and Traffic Administration?
Well, I could.
Hell, this gentleman knows automobiles.
I know acronyms and I know like all sorts of lies that I could tell. And you wouldn't be able to call me on them, or I'd make you look like a fool in front of your
I know
wife.
just as many lies.
Like those fan belts are made out of fucking
Kevlar, like a bulletproof vest. Yep.
Yeah. They're like, no, they're not. Actually, I installed that belt last week, sir. I know for a fact it is. What is he gonna do? Test it?
You'll see.
You want to test this Volvo fan belt? You're gonna get a car today, sir. What's it gonna be?
I don't know if it's still the case, but those highway safety ratings were bad. They were poorly done. Maybe I had the suspicion Taylor knows about this too. But what they do is they'd crash the car into a wall and see how the car fares. The problem is that really only matters if you're crashing into a wall. If you do something like a smart car and crash into the wall, it might be okay. But if a smart car and an F-150 hit each other, smart car does far worse than it would with a wall. It gets pushed backwards. And the collision things, they don't take account for that, the safety ratings.
You know what I love? They don't test for women's bodies, only for men.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
As it should be. Because what the fuck is she doing behind the wheel of a motor vehicle? I hope your brother gave permit.
A woman's ovaries were never meant to travel over 30 miles an hour for any extended period of time.
A woman's ovaries.
They used to think your cervix would just fall right out of you if you got above 30.
Get behind the wheel. Get out from behind the wheel of that automobile and get to your doctor for a fingering. You're losing your mind and you must come. Go to your doctor.
Let him vibrating seats for when women first start driving.
Yeah, to be a doctor in 1878, it's like, ma'am, you're terminally horny. I've got to take care of this for you.
I'm gonna need a bit of. They're coal-powered little steam vibrators.
I saw this thing about how women weren't getting good medical care, that they basically treated them like men with a hormonal deficiency. And I thought, and I still don't know if I'm wrong. I'm like, isn't that mostly right? I mean, unless we're talking about reproductive organs or something like that. But if you're operating on a woman's trachea, isn't she basically a man with a different hormonal balance? If you're operating on a woman's broken ankle, do we need to treat them so differently than men? What's the big difference?
Yeah,
I think they were talking more about female care specifically being neglected, right? I agree with you. I think ankles are ankles. But
the thing I was talking about, really what they hyper focused on was that women will say they're in pain and they're not treating their pain as seriously because women might be more apt to say, owie, owie, this hurts. That's actually not true in my family. Like Jackie, for example, is very good with needles and pain in general. So
but she's learned.
I feel I don't know, actually. I heard redheads feel more pain.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I've always been interested by that because it's other than anesthesia being different, what else is? Because that is a thing that redheads need more anesthesia.
I've heard that, yeah. And
apparently that's semi-common.
Is it because anesthesia is less effective on them or because their pain tolerances are
See,
low?
that's what, thank you for articulating what I failed to. That's my question as well.
Yeah. And potheads need more anesthesia.
Absolutely, we do. Load me up.
I probably need a fuck ton at this point. Just
It's but a tickle.
all this legal weed.
Give me milk
Pothead
at the
an
puppy.
Is pothead an insult?
Yeah, it's a
I guess so.
derogatory, but I don't mind. It, you know, you can call me a ninja if you want. It doesn't bother me a bit. It's kind of like that. It's like we're friends, so you can call me a pothead, but like you wouldn't want to be like, "Yo, potheads!" Like they beat you up. You know how they are. They're a violent group. You know, they don't take
Potheads
kindly.
are not a violent group at all.
If you're on their turf,
yeah.
especially, I've heard. You know,
Mhm. They say,
for that.
"Get out of here."
You're like,
That's all they
yeah.
say. That's all they say. That's
I
all
was
they
looking
say.
for like a counter thing.
That's it. That's all I got.
Get out of here, clean urinator.
Get out of
Yeah.
here. Hey, piss off. I'm sorry. Like that's.
I'm a marijuana enthusiast. Although I haven't had actual marijuana in I don't even know how long, because I'm just enjoying these Death by Gummy vape cartridges that just get you zooted. Zach, will you show us a picture of Gorlock the Destroyer?
No,
I was you know,
I don't know anything about this. Is this
I like
a
to
Warhammer
watch-
thing?
Yeah, I like to watch those silly podcasts where women say silly things. And this is Gorlock the Destroyer. They asked her to describe herself, I think, and she said she was a bad bitch. and she just kind of goes on about just really full of herself. I really hope you have a picture because you got to see it. It's not funny.
What podcast is it? Like what?
I don't know.
It's just women sitting around talking about Gorlock the Decimator,
It's the Destroyer.
the Destroyer. Decimator's better. Oh, there's too many people on a pod. Whoa!
Yep, there she is. You found her.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Gorlock.
I've seen her before.
Man, this episode was so fucking. I like.
She's gonna grind your bones to make bread.
Dude, she's like talking about like, you know, in high school when you just throw on any little cute little dress and just go to school, and the girls making side eyes at her and shit. Whenever she says something that's like an obvious, I don't know, troll. No
Taylor,
pun
do you know
intended.
this podcast?
I
The one we're
assume.
looking at.
Is it called Whatever? The
Yeah.
Whatever Show?
Zach, can you zoom out? I think the previous picture show. Oh, okay. So there's what happens is this. Every show is about the same. You have this guy who's a podcast host, and he is a professional communicator, right? Like this is what he does, and he makes his point, and he often has these stats and studies and stuff at his disposal. And then he brings on these girls. They're from OnlyFans typically, and he tells them they're making life mistakes. That like, yeah, you're kind of rocking with it right now when you're 22. When you're 30, you're going to be alone. You're going to die. Get a cat. You suck. And all the girls just get smashed with their long-term negative life decisions in this show. And I don't know how he finds more guests. I don't know.
They agree. They're happy to come on
They
for
want
the
attention.
exposure.
But if you had like a podcast where you just verbally and physically beat up on 50-year-old ex-gamers, and I watched this week after week, and then I was invited, I would say no thank you. Right?
But you're retired.
So what I bet, I don't know, but I bet they say something like, we get 10 million impressions per podcast when it's chopped up, and I bet it's more than that. They give them impression numbers, and they're like, these girls are all social media whores of one kind or another. Most of them, maybe the majority, have OnlyFans, but all of them have Instagrams, you know, that they're making money off of. So it's a huge deal for them to come on his show and maybe come off well. You know, Gorlock ain't picking up no OnlyFans. I don't think. I'm not
Was
getting
she
on
on
board with that.
OnlyFans?
But I bet
I don't fucking know, man. That was
I
rough.
bet she does. But you know, they might look like fools, but potential customers out there might see them as fantastic. Like,
Yeah.
what? You've sucked over 400 dicks and slept with 100 guys? Like, do you realize how hard it's going to be for you to find like a good man with that track record? What men are looking for, he would say, is a subservient woman with low mileage. And but if you're like a sugar daddy or something, and you're like, I could get that, then maybe this is like effective advertising, and they're smarter than I'm giving them credit for.
I can't stop
Perhaps.
thinking
I
about
think
that
it's-
woman's body shape.
Yeah.
What
Small tits.
was-
Just small tits. Did you notice that?
That I did notice that. That's tragic.
Yeah.
That Grease's gold tooth looking bitch.
Yeah, that's
looks-
such a good reference. if Zach could show us Grease's gold tooth, that'll get a real laugh out of everybody, I promise. But it's oh my goodness, look how big. See, like look at her body shape there. She's like, oh my god, I just found it. That's Danny DeVito. She's shaped like Danny DeVito.
She is.
Oh,
No, I'm going to go back to an argument I made 3 hours ago. I think if you push that woman over, she doesn't get hurt. She just rolls.
Yeah, she rolls. She's young and spry.
Yeah, I don't think she could.
And I hate to be a hater.
Boogie.
Like, never mind. I'm not going to give her a hard time.
Oh.
If it gave you pause, there's Grease's gold tooth.
He rides around in a wagon because he's immobile, and he's in his left hand. You'll notice that's a big hunk of meat. It's a big leg of something,
nice.
Probably a lamb.
He often says he's
weapons.
too rich to walk because he lets everybody else carry him.
Yeah,
very cool. Too rich to walk. You have to be like a Saudi to be that rich in the real world. Remember that one guy who was he got to about 800 pounds in Saudi Arabia. This was about 20 years ago. He's not alive. And they had to
I'm shocked.
they had to cut the side of his house out and get a crane.
That guy.
And then he was kind of like waving on the back of a flatbed like he was, the sole member of a parade.
There's that famous photo of like the OnlyFans model and this ogre-like human being that's with her. And she's like, my best OnlyFans fan paid $10,000 to have a special hangout together. TT. And they're like, but then the commenters are like, wait a minute, dude. They're in a hotel room. She doesn't have her shoes on and the bed is messy. Dude paid 10 grand to fuck her. And then like months later, I guess he saved up another 10 grand and it's them again on another vacation. Dude has lost significant amount of weight and like got a haircut and a shave. He's like slowly, but I want to see that third date.
The $30,000 date.
Yeah, right. Like you could tell, like he's made his life's mission to get with this, and she's an OnlyFans model. She's super hot, whatever. Not like they all are or anything, but that one.
He must be rich, or
I think he's saving up, $10K at a time and kind of living on rice and beans until he can get his hands back on that internet model.
Damn, that's pretty rough.
Good for her though, man. I bet that's the life, right?
Yeah. 10 grand. Well, based on what you just said, having sex with
maybe not
big fat dude.
All right. Let's switch places, right? Big sweaty dirty girl wants to take you for a ride, cowboy, and she's gonna put you away wet one way or another, and it's $10,000 a night, and she's gonna get her time, right? You got to sleep in that bed with her, and it's gonna stink. And she did not pull the correct move and get two queens. One fucking twin there, and there it is. Air conditioning's not working. She's just grinding into you, and her pubic hair is just a little bit too long, so it's like sandpaper.
How about
and you shaved your dicks, and her acidic vaginal juices are like burning the root, your dick root where you shaved, and you just want it to end, but it won't. It won't, because she got that desensitizing.
Kyle, are you having a PTSD moment right now?
Just have a little fun.
He's just riffing.
This isn't a memory at all. No,
and she doesn't even pay you.
She doesn't even pay you. And then you find out that it was 10,000 doll hairs.
Those were fish bucks, apparently, because they're not real. Yeah, that'd be a little different. You'd be okay with that though. Like I don't know, if you're bringing 10,000 home a night, like you could suffer through a big old nasty sexual experience.
Oh, $10,000? Absolutely. 100%.
I mean, I've been with some women and like halfway through it, been like, God, I want this to be over with, and just you just go to your happy place.
Yeah, and you didn't even get 10 grand. You were out $200.
I didn't get anything.
Well, you guys want to call it a show?
Yeah.
Oh, real quick, Hurricanes won. Next round.
Go Canes.
Go
Hurricanes in 5. Told you.
PKA 647.